Hello, this is Johnny Cycles here with another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. Playing Amulet Dinos. This is my third test match. I just started a test match that my opponent was taking. I guess they had something going on and it was taking a really long time, so I went ahead and conceded. Nice though. All right, we've made a few changes since the last test match, and you can see it right here. The Mycosynth Gardens is one and Explorer is another. Added another Primal Hunger. We're playing 29 lands. Somehow I have a 1-land hand, so we'll be mulliganing this once we get a chance. We've added Carnage Tyrant. Oh, wow. This is a really, really good hand if we could just have some lands. I cannot believe we have another one-lander with half of, literally, not quite literally, but almost literally half our deck is lands. I don't think this is playable. All right, so a way worse hand. That goes to the bottom. And that goes to the bottom. Wow, that's fairly disappointing. To see such great hands. Just a second land would have made that first hand playable and the second hand playable and the second hand playable. So very painful. All right, so our opponent could be up to anything with that fetch land. Could be Burn, could be Jeskai, could be Omnath, could be Izzet, Murktide. All right, so next turn, our plan is we're going to go Belligerent Yearling into Pugnacious Hammerskull. What are we playing up against? Okay, some interesting. Maybe it's some kind of Graveyard Shenanigan deck. So our goal, Belligerent Yearling off this cavern into Pugnacious Hammerskull and see what we draw from there. Alright, so now we're into a third color. Ledger Shredder, okay. So it looks like maybe a take on Izzet. Additional 2 cards each time you Surveil. That's pretty nice. Alright, so it does look like it's a, some kind of take on the Izzet Murktide deck. Some new tech of some kind. Alright, well, I imagine most of our creatures will die, but maybe our opponent kept a handful of counter magic. Probably not, since they went ahead and did all that. They probably have some unholy heats and lightning bolts to take care of our various creatures. They get to see the Galton Mavrin. Now they know the jig is up. Alright, named Dinosaurs with Cavern. Had to restart the old recording because it really doesn't like it when that window pops up. Treats it as a new window. So this is the combo that I really want to live the dream of doing. Belligerent Yearling and cast Galta and Mavrin. Obviously this is a long ways from happening now here on turn 2. But in the second practice match that you can watch on YouTube or on my website, or on YouTube right now, Johnny Cycles, I was in a position to top deck a Galta and turn 3, get 2 12-2s and 1 12-12 attacking that turn. Because you can, if I could stack my triggers correctly, stack it so that this triggers and then this, it sees those and becomes, well, I think it's whenever you attack, so it wouldn't be too complicated to get it correct. Anyway, and then I would I won the game, even though my opponent was certain that they were going to win, and they did. But if that one draw would have hit my opponent for over 30, despite what they had done. Yep, Unholy Heat. Oh, so they're not getting to do it now, but they're this Surveil, this whenever you can look at an additional 2 cards, so it's making Izzet Murktide even no more obnoxious in their way to dig for answers. And Unholy Heat happens to do 6 damage, so this Pugnacious Hammerskull is going to be dead to my opponent's second Unholy Heat, because that's what they do. They find answer after answer. Sure. Alright, so we're going to need some luck off the top. We don't play any lightning bolts anymore, not that we could kill the Ledger Shredder. We are in a racing our opponent. I'm not even sure I want... Oh my gosh. Alright, so our deck is definitely out to get us this game. Two Maverins off the top. There's two in the deck. So that's cool. And we'll probably scoop it up here after this and see what we draw. There is a world where we could come back. If we draw an Amulet of Vigor and a land and a way to make 2 land drops in a turn, we might get there. That's a lot of draws and a lot of having to live through stuff to get there, but we'll see. Can't block anything, and that puts us on a 3 turn clock. So we'll need to hit Amulet of Vigor, and there's the Unholy Heat, like I said. It's unbelievable. It is literally unbelievable how often it has not one answer, but 2 answers. They do get to look at a lot of cards. They get to, but you have to have those cards on the top of your library, right? They have 8 cards in their graveyard. So you have to have those cards at the top of your library to find them. You're not like, it's not like you're tutoring, you're surveilling. It's just, it blows my mind. Meanwhile, we're drawing back-to-back Galta, and they have back-to-back Unholy Heats. It's incredible. Incredible. Never get tired of that. Unholy Heat needs the Banhammer. That's, you can read all about it in my, yeah, we're just going to concede. We can read all about it in my Dragons in Modern article, why I think it should get. There's the Amulet. Maybe it was an early concession. Or is it Saga? Probably not. I mean, so we're down to what, 5, and then we play Amulet on the next turn, play bounce land, don't get to cast anything, and we're dead. So it's not an early concession. Okay, so we do have Tormod's Crypt to help against that, against the graveyard. What's bad against them? They saw the Belligerent Yearling. They have so much removal, I can't imagine that we're ever going to get real value out of this. So we'll just go into our hope to ramp into bigger threats and they can kill and run them out of Unholy Heats. I can't wait to cast Galta and then have my opponent, my Izzet Murktide opponent, cast 2 Unholy Heats to kill it on my instep, because that's probably going to happen. If I sound bitter and salty about Unholy Heat, then you are reading my tone correctly. The card is almost single-handedly crushes mid-range creature strategies. I don't consider real Amulet Titan a mid-range. I consider it more a combo strategy. All right, so here we have Cavern Souls is good. We don't have an Amulet. I don't know if we should mulligan for an Amulet. We do have a redraw. We do have ways to make multiple land drops. So we can turn 1 Cavern, turn 2 Forest, explore, make another land drop. We'll try it. I mean, I feel like we're very much not favored in this matchup anyway. And I'm practicing the deck. This is literally my 4th match. 3rd full match it looks like it's going to be. And I need all the practice I can get. So I need to find out what are the real bad hands. I need to figure out if this is a keepable hand that we just got to get lucky to draw into because we have some of our pieces. Or if this, you always want to mulligan at least once for the Amulet. Maybe after mulliganing so many times last game, there's the Grazer. So now we're in a position to really ramp. Unfortunately, we only have the 1 green source, so we could go green. Guess we can return it to our hand. All right, so let's figure out how we can do this. So, hello again, Cavern of Souls, making me. So we do Grazer. Maybe we should draw the card first. See what we draw. You never know. Wait, did I do that wrong? I did it wrong. Guess you have to do just colorless. All right. Okay, let's not go clicking OK randomly. That's what happened the last match that I didn't get to finish, where I just clicked too quickly. Missed a lot of stuff, especially with a new deck. All right, so we got the Galta. We can play an extra land this turn. Did we mess it up? We did mess it up. So this is our extra land drop. This is bounce land. So we just hit OK. Put the forest back. So I think if we played the Grazer, we would have gotten an extra land drop. I'm not sure. I'll think about it after I pass the turn, so I don't annoy my opponent. As I've mentioned in my articles, math is not my strong suit, so this might not be the right deck for me. So let's see. We could have. So if we'd done the Grazer first, we would have just had a Cavern. It would allow us to put the Boros Garrison in play as our second land drop. So yeah, I don't think there was any way we could have done everything I thought we could. So is there next turn? See what our opponent gets up to. Looks like they're all in Alpine Moon. Okay, what are they going to name? I wonder if they're going to go after the Cavern. The Alpine Moon is an interesting, yep, choose Cavern. So I guess even if we bounce it to our hand, it's going to always have lost those abilities. Okay, well, we'll see. All right, let's see if we can do this the right way. So we're going to go land. We get 3 mana, Sword Tooth, land, a Boreal Grazer, another land. And hopefully they can't counter any of this. And then next turn maybe Galta, if we're lucky. Do we want to try to run out this? So that gives us 3 mana immediately. Unfortunately, we're not going to really, well, let's see. Get the Grazer, see if they do anything. Stern Scolding, spell with power or toughness 2 or less. So they did have the answer to that. I think we're out of land drops. So we'll see what our opponent does. What we really want our opponent to do is tap out. And if they tap out, I think we can get this Galta down next turn. And put our opponent to the test with a double, if they have the double Unholy Heat. Since they got rid of the Cavern, I have a feeling they have a handful of counter spells. So I don't see them tapping out anytime soon, unfortunately. But maybe they'll go out of their way to kill this Wayward Swordtooth. Okay, that's the first step to tapping out. I like it. So let's see if we can do this correctly. If we go land, Pugnacious Hammer Skull, Galta, we need 10. We'll have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we won't be close to attacking with the Wayward Swordtooth yet, but all right. Will we be able to beat Izzet Murtide with a 12/12 Trampler, or will they have the double Unholy Heat to kill it? Or even better, an Unholy Heat and 2 Lightning Bolts. All right, so they're going all in, it looks like. Maybe Ragavan now. Just Unholy Heat. I mean, it's unbelievable. So we will not be getting down our Galta this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe we'll see. Let's do the math. We need the... we need 2 green for Galta, so we couldn't do it anyway. We already have 1 green. Let's see. Undo. Let's see if we can figure this out. We need the 1 green for that. We have a green here, and we have a green there, so we can go... I don't think we can get the... Unfortunately, it's going to cost 2/6 now. So we were going to have another fun turn, except Unholy Heat yet again ruins our day. So if we had the Wayward Sword Tooth out, we could have gotten Galta down, because it would have cost just 2 green, and we have the 2 green here. So 6 makes this 6 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next turn we can cast Galta, assuming they don't have a second Unholy Heat, which, as we all know, they do. They always have the second Unholy Heat. Or we'll draw a land and get down this Galta and Maven. That is a possibility, right? But now they have enough mana, they probably have their counter magic ready. So you can do a bunch of stuff and hold up counter magic. Well, if there wasn't Unholy Heat, I mean, it could have been a Ragavan. That would have been nicer, but, you know, why would Murktide not have the Unholy Heat right on schedule? You only play 4 of them in a deck. So having 2, even with Surveilling, is pretty lucky. And then having 1 every single game you play them is also very lucky, despite even with the Surveilling. Just always, never not have it. Is it Murktide? All right, so now they have all their manas available for countering things. And I don't even really want to run anything out with 3. I mean, we'll attack just to put them at 6. Maybe they have mana to counter and double lightning bolt if they want, so. So it's going to get, okay, so I need to read the card better. It's going to get the stun counter from attacking. So we should have tried to run out the Galta first, just to bait out. Maybe it would have resolved, but even if it doesn't resolve, I mean, even if it does resolve here, I think we win. So if it resolves, I think we win no matter what. I don't think it's going to resolve. I don't even know if we have the mana for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Galta. I'm still in the damn it. Excuse my language. I try not to cuss on these videos, but I'm still in the combat step. It's been a long time since I played Magic Online. If you haven't noticed, there being no posts for like 2 weeks. It's been a lot going on, a lot of other things going on in life. Fun things, but other things. And I'm obviously very rusty when it's a brand new deck. Alright, here comes Galta. Here comes the counterspell, I imagine, which would have been uncounterable had we not had this Cavern of Souls nerfed. Oh, okay. It resolves. Nice. Alright, well, do they have the double Unholy Heat? Or are they going to scoop it up? Or do they have a subtlety? There are a lot of answers. Adawara. If we still can draw a land and play this Galta and Maven. Thoughtful Phantasm. Whenever you surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on it. As long as Thoughtbound Phantasm has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it can't attack it, so it didn't have Defender. All right, so they're definitely all in on the Surveil plan. And also playing Seek the Beast and Questing Druid, which is some tech as well. So they're going to be digging hard for multiple kill spells, I imagine, or some sort of subtlety to get rid of this Galta, if they don't have it already at least. So we should have played the Galta before attacks. I was assuming they had a counterspell, so I didn't think it would matter. I was hoping to maybe force their hand on something, but any I don't know. Overthought it probably. And also forgot that this didn't, it's when it attacks, it gets the stun counter, not, it doesn't untap unless you control the dinosaur type of thing. Okay, yep. They're going to try to get enough toughness on the board to jump block. This would be the perfect time to draw a land for us. To live our dream of casting Galta and Maverin with Galta Primal Hunger out. Will our 29 land deck give us a untapped land? We have 4 of our and they scoop it up. All right. And we weren't going to get the untapped land. Well, we know it's possible to fight through Unholy. They got the one Unholy Heat on us. We kept a powerful, aggressive hand without the Amulet of Vigor. They could not find multiple kill spells, finally, and we got there. So that's all it takes. Just getting rid of those multiple kill spells. Or not having our opponent draw multiple kill spells. We could bring in, I mean, Tormod's Crypt is what we want to answer what they're trying to do. Could bring in the Force of Vigors to get rid of the Alpine Moons. I'm not sure it's really, I think it's too reactive. We need to be more aggressive. It does turn on their counter magic, but it is what it is. So run it back. Try not to forget how to play Magic. Yeah, so it was a couple busy weeks. I had to 1 week work on my book to get up on the website, and the next week was a Commander article on Amulet of Vigor, but 2 bounce lands. Do we keep? This is such a good hand if we hit a untapped land. That's the risk, right? We have 29 lands. Do we keep a hand that, if we get an untapped land, allows us to have a really look? I mean, this combo right here leads to this very early in the game. I just don't think it's. Should I try it? Should I try it? Mulligan. This is as painful as that last one was. This one is painful for other reasons. We have multiple ways to make multiple land drops, but only 3 lands, and we don't have any green source. So we're going to end up needing to name Boreal Grazer or something, and we can't cast this Explore. And then what do we put on the bottom? We want the lands. Man. All right, well, we're going to trust in the magic gods here. What we really want is a green, a bounce land with green in it. We'll play, our plan then would be to play Amulet of Vigor. And then the next turn, play a bounce land, stack our triggers correctly to explore, draw a card, bounce the land to our hand. Okay, well, that's a green source, so that is better than nothing. That does let us play Explore next turn. I'm just going to quit always yielding until I figure out how to play this deck more correctly. All right, Urza Saga. We'll get to see the power of Urza Saga. Getting us a turn 3 Amulet of Vigor, hopefully. And we already have an Amulet of Vigor, so little does our opponent know we don't have any bounce lands to really, nor the payoff cards to take advantage of it. But I have faith. We have a redraw plus another draw. Next turn, we're going to draw a bounce land, play this Explore. Assuming our opponent doesn't kill our Amulet of Vigor, play this Explore, draw into a one of our finishers, like maybe Carnage Tyrant or Galta. Galta might be too. Maverin, Galta and Maverin. There we go. And go from there. Do the math when I have to, basically, because I don't want to have to think about it right now. Too much math. Try to remember how to play Magic. So let me finish my thought. Long stretch, couple weeks did the article on, so posted my book chapters, and then I had an article on zombie tribal precon and its effect on Commander, and I had to do a lot of research and reading and all that stuff. And it was just, I've been working on this since January. It took forever, and I finally it was scheduled to come out. I just did it, and finally got it out, but it took the whole time. And in the meantime, my wife worked 8 nights in a row. It was her birthday, so we were when she wasn't working, so there was a lot of either just me with the kids all the time and very little time and very tired, or we had a lot of social activities that kept me away from playing extra games of Magic. All right, so we're going to play Boseiju, and then we're going to explore and hopefully draw a bounce land, and it is a basic forest. So we'll play this basic forest and a Boreal Grazer. Play a Cavern of Souls. We will restart the recording. So untap. Can we play another one? No. All right. And we are out of action. Unfortunately, we didn't draw the balance land or the finisher, so nothing went the way I hoped it would go, but we'll see. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand. It's turn 3. I guess they're see if they have an answer for this Pugnacious Hammer Skull. We don't have another dinosaur, however, so they're trying to grow this Phantasm. I will say this: maybe this isn't a Murktide deck. I haven't seen Murktide. I've seen a lot of other cards. It is an Temur Surveil deck, and I'll give my opponent credit that they're doing something different with some of the same cards. We're doing something different with some of the same cards that you see in tier decks. So unless this is a new hotness I'm not aware of since I've been out of the game for a couple weeks. Can attack as though it didn't have Defender. It doesn't have flying though, does it? Or even if it does, we have Sneaky Reach. All right, so there they go, surveilling again. So they're going to get this guy big quick. He already is big. And they're going to turn on Unholy Heat, I'm sure. Yeah, since I just don't have a lot of time, I want to make content to put up on YouTube. And I was going to show, there's a lightning bolt for the Grazer. I wanted to show kind of the progression of my thought process as I test decks and play decks and change decks. But man, it's been some clunky playing on my part that I'm not all that proud of in places, but nevertheless, play to learn. All right, so what is our best draw right now? We have the Pugnacious Hammer Skull. Our best draw would be a bounce land followed by one like Maverin again. So if we are able to chain that together, we may have a chance, assuming our opponent doesn't have Unholy Heat. All right, so there is. We're gonna go get another amulet. We could just go. I guess we'll go ahead and make. Let's see. Let's tap this for mana. Oh no, we have to tap it this way. So we'll go ahead and make a construct. Go get another amulet. That does put us back behind on the Pugnacious. Play the Tormod's Crypt. It's now a 4/4. Play the Cavern. Start the recording over again. And now we have to never F6 because we might need to use this Tormod's Crypt in response to an Unholy Heat. I mean, Tormod's Crypt isn't a bad draw. It's really not exactly what we were hoping for, though, when we really need to find a bounce land and a finisher. Bounce land and a finisher at this point is probably going to be too slow because we're going to end up, there's the Unholy Heat. That's just 2 damage though for now. So we'll let that go first. They're going to get a couple Surveils. Let that go, see what happens. They still don't have but 3 card types. Okay. So they were digging for the 4th card type, it looks like. Didn't get there. Or they were hoping we would crack this Tormod's Crypt and it would die, but it's only 2 damage, so that wouldn't have worked anyway. Yep. I mean, we're going to have to block. Our life total's too low to not block. They're down to 1 card, so if we draw a bounce land and a finisher, we still have a chance. We did not draw a bounce land and a finisher. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right now I think we're just dead. So we're gonna have. We really need to hit one of those 2 pieces last turn, a bounce land or a finisher, so that we could the next turn play the bounce land, untap it for 4 mana, 5, 6, and then cast Maven. And even then, it might not have been enough. So we have our 6/6 that I guess we'll use to chump block to try to stay alive. If we were able, yeah, we're barely hanging in there. And we are just, next turn we are dead to a lightning bolt no matter what we draw. So there's a Wayward Sawtooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be 9. We cannot block with it, so we will be dead. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any reason. All right, well, this is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com. Painful game. We're seeing some of the weaknesses, some of the power. But GG's, I'll catch you in the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my website, cyclesgaming.com, for original Magic the Gathering content. You can read about my Commander decks or my Janky Modern brews. My latest article is about the Zombie Precon and its effect on Commander. I give you a couple different deck lists. If you're interested in a science fiction / fantasy novel, be sure to check out my book, The Podkond. I'm publishing it serially, a couple chapters every month. Again, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.